Today on Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape.
Look, Sheila, I've told you before, this company runs on trust and enthusiasm. If there's a problem, you don't broadcast it. You share it with me privately. That's my job. I solve problems.
That's what I was trying to do, Jim.
Well, what's the problem?
Well, I got this phone call.
Yeah, you said that already, Sheila. What's this all about, a supplier?
Well, seems like our supplier in India, it seems like they're using children to make our clothes.
From Wondery, this is Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape, an audio drama told week after week. I'm your host, David Reinstrom, and all the world wants to know, what's your secret? My secret is that I'm dressing up as you for Halloween. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And if you've never heard an audio drama before, double welcome. I hope you come to love this medium as much as I do. Audio drama is fiction for your ears. Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape is all about featuring and producing full cast stories of crime, love, mystery, and conspiracy. Today, we begin a new 3-part series called Severed Threads by John Dryden. It's the story of 3 people. Ben, a troubled youth at St. Wilfrid's, a posh boarding school in England, whose homework assignments take a turn for the gruesome. Jim, a deeply religious Minnesotan who oversees production for a church-run clothing company, and Prem, an independent British Indian journalist investigating child labor abuses in Delhi, India's capital. How far will he go for the right story? These 3 lives are seemingly unconnected, both in time and location, but as our story continues, you'll come to see how these severed threads intertwine. We're going to be releasing this series in 3 45-minute episodes across the next few weeks, and we'd like to know how you feel about that decision. Head over to wondery.com/survey and let us know. Do you prefer long-form 45-minute episodes like what you're about to hear, or do you prefer 25-minute episodes like what we did with A Beautiful Spell? Think it over while you're listening to this episode, and then head to wondery.com/survey. I'll remind you at the back end of the show. Now, John Dryden, the producer of this series, has a knack for the subtle when it comes to scene transitions. Pay careful attention to the opening and closing of doors, for example. Sometimes they're just doors, but sometimes they can signal the beginning of a completely new scene, somewhere and somewhen new. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Severed Threads, Part 1.
One walked down the aisle, spoke with the pastor. The pastor came down and the gentleman pulled out a firearm and shot the preacher.
The suspect raised his hand, fired the first shot, hit the pastor's Bible.
There was like confetti all over the stage, and they shot his Bible, and it just obliterated it.
We heard what sounded like the sound of like miniature firecrackers.
Right now, the only thing we know is that the suspect said something to the pastor, and the pastor said something back to him. We don't know what that was.
Started coming in the library and opening fire, and they came in here and they shot some, and then they went back out. People were getting shot all around me.
So what we're looking for now is a reason for violence that tore this quiet school.
Salma?
in suburban neighborhood.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
You're supposed to be doing prep.
I'm doing prep.
You just told me you weren't doing anything.
I'm doing prep.
There were sounds coming from your room. Were you watching that stuff again?
No.
You were watching those videos again, weren't you?
It's nothing to do with you.
Yes, it is. I'm duty monitor. You're supposed to be doing prep. Do you want me to report you?
I was doing prep until you came in.
Timms wants to see you.
Why?
I don't know. It's because you're so sick, man.
Is there something you wanted to say, Jim? You called me here in the middle of the night, Jim. You must have something on your mind. What do you need, Jim?
What does everyone need?
Forgiveness, Jim?
I'm not talking about that. Do you know what time it is in India?
India? No. I don't know, Jim. What's India got to do with anything? Jim?
Delhi, India's capital, a bustling, cosmopolitan city now preparing to host the 2010 Commonwealth Games. It's Delhi's moment to shine. And yet everywhere, kids work on the streets. India has more child laborers under the age of 14 than anywhere else. Children are recruited from across India and taken to big cities to be exploited. Cheap labor and easy to control. It's early morning and I'm standing outside a textile factory in the Shahpur Jat area of Delhi, where police are preparing for a raid. They've been tipped off by child welfare activists that a number of trafficked children are working here. Their challenge is to find the children before they can be hidden.
पुलिस है खाटकर साहब है खाटकर साहब बोला बाहर बोला सब पकड़ो तुम इधर काम करता है तुम इधर काम करता है क्या हां सर लेकिन आपको इधर काम करता है आप हां सर करता है नाम बताओ नाम बताओ
We're going in. Yeah, I think we're going in. We're moving along a corridor. Seems to have a number of small rooms off of it. Oh, no, nothing in this one. And here, a room with 5 women all at sewing machines. Hello, namaste. How are you? Have a nice day.
Come in. Close the door. Sit down, Ben. We need to talk. Is this your notebook?
I don't know.
I think it is your notebook, Ben. It's got your name on it. What's this? Port Arthur, 35. Winnenden School, 15. Virginia Tech, 32. Mission of God, 4. What is this?
I'm doing a project.
What sort of project? Do you think I don't know what these are? Port Arthur, 35. Columbine, 13. Ben, these are not things a 12-year-old boy does projects on, not at this school.
I'm doing an investigation.
I don't think so, Ben. I don't think so. He walked down the corridor, listening for sounds. He felt the gun brushing against his leg. What is this, Ben?
A story.
Read it to me.
Sir?
Go ahead, read it to me.
He looked down from the bell tower. The police were all around now, and he knew the end was coming. At least now they knew what sort of person he was. No longer could he be ignored.
Keep going.
Below, groups of sobbing kids consoled each other over the loss of their friends. They looked like ants, he thought, and he laughed as he jacked another shell into the breach.
So, what is all this about, Ben?
Nothing, sir. It's a story.
Yes, I know it's a story, Ben. But it's a very disturbing story, don't you think? Ben, you write well. You're a clever boy. You have a vivid imagination. There's nothing wrong with writing about dark subjects occasionally. What concerns me, Ben, is that you only seem to be interested in such things. See, it's not healthy. Not for a boy of your age. Are you happy here?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
No.
I can't help you, Ben, if you won't talk to me. Well, I want you to bring your laptop to me.
Now, sir?
Yes, now, sir. You can have it back during properly supervised lessons. You can collect it from my office each morning and bring it back here after your last lesson each day. Have you got that?
Yes, sir.
You don't have a lot of friends, do you, Ben?
No, sir.
Ben, you need to start making an effort. It's not good spending all of your time on your own. You need to get involved. You need to be out there playing sports with the other boys. Will you try doing that, Ben?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ben, yeah, come back here. Close the door. Look, am I really getting through to you?
Yes, sir.
What is it you want, Ben? You're old enough to decide. What do you want your future to be? Because, you know, this is where your future starts, right here, now.
I don't know what I want, sir.
Okay, Ben. We're a community here at St. Wilfrid's. And in a community, you have to contribute. But you know what? When you contribute, you get a lot in return. And that's what being part of a community means. Do you want to be part of our community?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure, Ben?
Yes, sir.
Right then. So come on, let's buck up from now on. Let's be part of the community. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And you'll value being part of the community for years to come, that I promise you. All right, off you go.
Everyone values something above all else. For some, it's their career. For others, it's money, or their health, or their family. But for me, it was being at the heart of a community. I had a wife, a daughter, and the church was our family.
What do people need, apart from the Holy Spirit? What's that? Your food? Yes? Yes?
Shelter?
Shelter, a roof above their heads. We all need that. Anyone else?
Clothing.
Clothes, garments, apparel, what we wear to keep us warm, to make us feel good. That's what everyone needs from the day they are born to the day they die. And no matter who we are, we want to pay as little for it as we can, right? Right. Well, that's where we come in. We give people what they need. Clothes they can afford. But we're not just a clothing firm. No, we're God's clothing firm.
That's it. That's it.
Now let me tell you my story. When I was saved, I went to Pastor McGivern and I said, Pastor, I have quit my job. I have renounced the material world. How can I serve God?
Amen.
Pastor McGivern said, do you really want to serve God? I said, yes, Pastor, that's what I want more than anything.
Amen.
Tell me what I have to do. And Pastor McGivern said, go back to your job, live in the material world, and serve God by example. It's not what I expected. Wasn't what I wanted. Heck, I wanted the sky to open up for God to lift me up. But
Serious ways, brother.
But create a company, make a success of it, make money, and use that money to do God's work. You know, we make clothes so cheap, it's cheaper to buy new ones than to wash them. Every penny we make goes back to the church and to help those in Africa and Asia and other poor countries. And with this, we're bringing the message of Jesus, and bringing the message of Jesus is bringing the message of America. We are the threads that bind. Yes, we are. We don't need any.
Everyone knew me, everyone respected me, and I was glorifying Jesus' name. Before, I had squandered my gifts, and I became ill. Now Jesus had given me another shot, and I had never been better. My salary wasn't vast, but that didn't matter. Everything seemed right.
That was a great talk, Jim. Mary and the kids, we all loved it.
Oh, thanks, Harry. Did you get your problem sorted out last week?
Yes, thanks for your advice, Jim. I thought about what you said. We prayed, and you were right on the money.
Oh, I'm so glad. Give my best to Mary and the kids, will you?
I will, Jim. Take care.
If there was a cloud in my horizon, it was Faith, our daughter.
Well, hi, Faith.
Hi.
Your dad was good.
I hate it when he does those talks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think he'll let you come out with us tonight?
I didn't want her to stray from the path as I had. I didn't want her to go through what I went through.
Where to?
Purple Turtle. A group of us are going.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a band from out of state.
I don't think you will.
You should stand up to him. And your mom.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's what I did. Now my parents know to stay away.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Faith, honey.
He's coming.
Do it, Faith. Do it now or you'll never do it.
I'll catch you later.
Yeah, later.
Honey, you know, we don't like you talking to her.
But I guess I was looking in the wrong direction.
Jim, the figures are not good.
Oh, then we need to drop the wholesale price, get our products into more stores.
It's not just about cheap anymore, Jim.
Are you kidding me? I've been selling clothes all my life. See, if the price is right...
I know, Jim, but the market is changing. The competition is much tougher now. Other suppliers can match our prices, and they're making clothes people want to buy.
See here, Kyle. You're the accountant. Why don't you concentrate on getting the numbers right?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Because clothes, I know about. There's not a department store chain in America I haven't sold to.
Sure, no problem.
I'm working my butt off to make this company a success. We all are.
Sure, I know, Jim.
Jim, can I talk to you?
We're in a meeting, Sheila.
Jim, I think we may have a problem.
Hello. 1 2 1 2. So here I am, sitting in the hotel foyer, waiting for Rahul, my fixer, to arrive. And as usual, he's late.
Rain.
Oh,
Sorry, yaar.
where have you been?
Rains, yaar. Bad rains outside.
I'm getting a bit worried, Rahul. We've been to 4 factories and still no kids.
I know. Sometimes these things take time, yaar.
I'm meant to be flying back the day after tomorrow. We don't even have a story. But I promised the BBC an investigation about children working in factories. And we have hired you to deliver the goods.
Sure, don't worry, yaar. We'll find them. Trust me.
I'm back at the Shahpur Jat slums, standing outside a collection of shacks, which apparently is being used as some sort of textile workshop.
Are there children working here?
No.
And with several child welfare inspectors, why do they think there are children working here?
We've had a tip-off from someone who lives nearby.
Textile factory?
My sources tell me that the police have had a tip-off that children could be working here, making clothes that may be destined for clothing firms in the West, high street retail chains that you or I might shop at for our clothes. And they're going in. They're going in. India, of course, is recognized by the United Nations as the world's capital for child labor. According to one estimate, more than 20% of India's economy is dependent on children. That's the equivalent of 55 million youngsters under 14. Let's see if any of them are in here. Okay, we're going along a corridor. It's really very dark. More rooms. Going through. And there they are. A room, tiny room full of maybe 10, 12 young boys. Can't be more than 13 years old, I'd say. This room is just the worst, most appalling conditions I could explain to you. Dusty, damp, cramp, and a horrible, horrible smell. A few boys sitting in front of sewing machines, others just staring into bewilderment. The welfare officers and the police officers interviewing them, asking them their names.
अच्छा क्यों बताया गया कि हम लोग को क्यों बताया गया ये सब क्या है फिर कुछ भी पढ़ाई अगर आप लोग यहाँ काम नहीं करते नहीं अच्छा ठीक है आपका गांव का नाम
I've got one of the welfare officers here. I'm going to ask her. Hi. They seem very frightened. What's happening now?
Actually, they think they are in trouble, so they think they're about to be arrested.
Can you?
other children in the room over here
Seems to be other rooms with children as well. Could you tell me, how long do these boys have to spend in here per day?
15 hours is typical, actually.
15 hours. And,
Yeah.
and how old would they be?
देखो, तुम्हारी उम्र क्या है? उम्र क्या है?
16 साल.
असली उम्र बताओ घबराओ मत कुछ नहीं होगा बताओ
16 साल ही है.
He says he's 16 years old because that's what they're thought to say, but clearly they're all children.
It's evident that they're not 16 years old, I can tell you that, just by looking at them. Let me ask this one. आप यहाँ कितनी देर से हो?
2 महीने से.
I've just asked him how long he's been here for, and he said 2 months. और आप यहाँ काम क्या करते हो?
नहीं, मैं काम नहीं करता हूँ. मैं यहाँ पे मेरे दोस्त से मिलने के लिए आया था.
I've just asked him what work he does here, and having said he's been here for 2 months, completely denies that he does any work here. In fact, came to see a friend of his.
Actually, that is very typical because they'll think they'll get into a lot of trouble, so, they'll pretty much say the same thing.
I guess the most shocking thing here is that everyone feels that we're here to punish them. What they don't seem to understand is that we're here to actually rescue them. We're here to help you.
किसी को कुछ नहीं होगा ये साहब आए हैं आपकी सहायता करने
He's just explained that to him. Let me get back to this boy. आप फिक्र मत करो, नाम बताओ.
हाँ, अमित.
I've asked his name. He tells me his name is Amit. Amit, you speak English? आप अंग्रेजी बोलते हो? बोलो बेटा. No, he doesn't seem to want to talk. Something seems to be going on out here. That's the owner of the factory. He doesn't seem very happy. Well, what will happen to him now?
He will just get a fine.
That's all?
Yeah, he will probably get back to business in 1 or 2 days.
I'm going to talk to him.
पूरे देश में ऐसे ही काम चलता है, आप नहीं करते.
Excuse me, do you mind if I ask him a few questions? सर, मैं लंदन से आया हूँ, मैं BBC का डॉक्यूमेंट्री बना रहा हूँ. आप अंग्रेजी बोलते हैं? English? You speak English?
Yes, I speak English.
And sir, how do you feel about being fined for this?
They can fine me, but what have I done to deserve this? Why are they trying to spoil my business?
Well, these are children.
Listen, my friend, where are you from?
London.
You think this is like London? Every rupee I pay my workers is a rupee more for their family. I'm giving them employment.
Yes, you're giving them employment, but that's because it's cheaper to pay children rather than adults.
You think I should pay them more, huh?
I think you should stop exploiting.
You come here from London and you talk about exploiting? And yet, when you're at home, you want cheap, cheap, cheap. All we are doing here is giving you what you want, and you come here and talk about exploiting.
खरे जरा वो वैन का दरवाजा खोलो हम लोग अंदर आ रहे हैं कोई घबराने की बात नहीं है सबकी हिफाजत होगी.
So the police officers and the welfare officers are slowly escorting the children out of this horrible room, and they'll be taken to the welfare centre and fed, watered, and then hopefully from there find out where they all hail from. So we're going to follow them out.
You come, sir. We will close this factory now. Come. This is done. Come, sir. We'll find them.
So we make our way back out to the front, the children all being ushered. Probably seeing daylight for the first time today. Yeah. As the welfare lady mentioned that 15, 16 hours a day is standard. And what will happen to these children now?
Well, they'll be taken to a welfare center and we'll give them some food and we'll do some health checkups.
And then?
Well, the ones that we can identify, they'll be taken to their villages. And hopefully they'll be reunited with their families. But the others will be taken to an orphanage.
And as I look at Amit, the young boy that we spoke to a little bit earlier, looking up to the sun and blinking, seems like it was the first bit of sunlight he must have seen for some time. Amit, आप कहाँ से हो?
हरियाणा से.
हरियाणा से. और आप घर जाना चाहेंगे?
हाँ, मम्मी से भी मिलना है और छोटा भाई से भी मिलना है.
I've just asked Amit if he'd like to go home. He said he's from a village in Haryana and is looking forward to seeing his brother and mother. You know what? If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to make sure Amit gets back home to where he belongs.
Come, sir. Come, sir. आ जाओ सब लोग वैन में आओ. वैन में बैठो सब. आ जाओ. उस तरफ. ट्रैफिक संभालो. सब इस तरफ आ जाओ. चलो आ जाओ. चलो एक लाइन बनाओ. एक लाइन.
When I was a kid, I learned this. Joys come separately, troubles always come together. When one thing goes bad, everything goes bad.
Well, you see, Jim, I had a call from a journalist.
Yes?
Young fella. Works for the Tribune.
Well?
You know, I think he's Mary Gottfried's son. You remember her husband died last fall? Her son went to journalism college. Well, I don't know it was him, but it was some young fella that works for the Tribune.
What did he want?
Well, it's not good, Jim. I don't want to put too much construction on it, but he said it was going to be on all the news shows this evening.
What will?
There's a problem with one of our suppliers.
So?
In India. I didn't even know we had suppliers in India. Something to do with kids working in the factories.
Sheila, let's go into my office. Kyle, guys, why don't we talk later?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Look, Sheila, I've told you before, this company runs on trust and enthusiasm. If there's a problem, you don't broadcast it. You share it with me privately. That's my job. I solve problems.
That's what I was trying to do, Jim. But you weren't picking up what I was trying to do.
So what's the problem?
Well, I got this phone call.
Yeah, you said that already, Sheila. What's this all about, a supplier?
Well, seems like our supplier in India, it seems like they're using children to make our clothes.
That's not accurate, Sheila. That's a false accusation.
That's what I told him, Jim.
I deal with the factories over there myself.
Well, I don't know, Jim. He wants to talk to you to clear it all up.
Okie dokie. Well, I need to think about this. We need to control this, manage it so that when the story breaks, we got our story straight. We don't want to leak any rumors, or it could explode in our faces. We need to be in control. Have you told anybody else?
No. No one at all. Except I told the pastor, of course. And Father Peter was in there with him.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is great.
Hey, Creepy. I asked you a question. I expect an answer.
Leave me alone.
What did the housemaster want, Creepy? Why'd you get called to his office?
I said leave me alone, Hayward. You're the creep.
What did you say, Creepy?
I said you're the creep.
What? I couldn't quite hear you.
You're the creep!
No, still can't quite hear you.
Hey! What's going on here? You should be on the playing fields by now. Do you want to be on report, Hayward?
No, James,
Well, get going then.
Later, Creepy.
You all right, Sharma?
Yes, fine.
Why aren't you changed yet? Look, if you just take it from them, they'll dish it out all the more. You need to stand up for yourself. Then they'll respect you.
I don't want their respect. They're just ants. They don't bother me.
Okay. Now, do you want me to walk out to the playing fields with you?
I've got to go get something from Dawn.
Okay, but hurry up. We're already 5 minutes late.
We're heading to Beergood. It's a village about an hour out of Haryana. We've been driving for several hours now, and I can honestly say that even though we're in the countryside, there have been people in sight the whole time. There are a lot of people in India, and you can really feel it on a trip like this. But this trip is about one boy, Amit, and we're bringing him back home to where he belongs. Amit, घर जाने के लिए खुशी हो रही है?
हाँ, बहुत खुशी हो रही है क्योंकि छोटे भाई से मिले बहुत दिन हो गए, उसके साथ खेलना है, बात करना है, थोड़ा वक्त गुजारना है, इसके लिए बहुत खुशी हो रही है।
I just asked Amit if he's looking forward to seeing his family, and he told me he's looking forward to playing football with his little brother because it's been such a long time. And what about your mummy? और मम्मी को?
हाँ, मम्मी से मिलना है, पर मिलने में थोड़ी घबराहट हो रही है मम्मी से मिलने।
He said he's worried about seeing her. Why? क्यों?
क्योंकि मैंने मम्मी को बहुत उदास कर दिया है, मेरे वजह से मम्मी को बहुत तकलीफें झेलनी पड़ी इसके लिए।
He feels that he's let his mum down. What a terrible thing for a 10-year-old to feel. I'm sorry. I just got a bit choked up. I was thinking about my own son. I mean, what a terrible thing for a little boy to feel that he's let his family down. I would say it's his family that's let him down. I can sense Amit's excitement as we get closer to his home. This must be his brother. Oh, they seem delighted to see each other. Come. Are we here?
Yeah. This is the house.
Well, this is it, apparently. It's a pretty modest home, a shack, really. And this is his mother. This is his mother.
She's the mother.
Namaste ji.
नमस्ते।
कैसे हो?
ठीक है।
आपको कैसे लग रहा है कि आपका बेटा वापस आ गया?
ठीक है, आ गया, हो गया, अब क्या कहें?
खुशी तो होगी ना?
हाँ, खुशी है, अब काहे नहीं हुई। ठीक है। काहे आ गया?
I've just told her that we've returned her son to her. She seems to look a little stunned.
वो उधर।
I guess having us here must seem a little strange for her.
वो ना नहीं।
Amit has just touched his mother's feet. It's a sign of respect and affection in the Indian culture.
अगर अभी और काम करेंगे ना तो पुलिस पकड़ लेगी और दूसरी बार छोड़ेगी भी नहीं और बोले कि मम्मी पापा को लेके आके
He's saying that the police caught him and sent him back, and that they told him that there would be no mercy the next time he gets caught.
कहाँ से पैसा भरवाएंगे और यहाँ क्या करेगा रे तू? किसके भी खेती में काम करके पैसा लाएगा ना। कहाँ मिलता है पैसे खेती में?
What's going on?
किधर भी
See,
काम
basically, he doesn't want his mother to send him back to the city. That's all.
तो यहाँ बहुत काम है जैसे। बैठे हम तेरे लिए। बैठ। कुछ ना कर। क्या हुआ?
She doesn't seem to be very pleased to have him back.
वहाँ दिल्ली में बोल रहे थे ना कि अब काम नहीं देंगे और सबको भगा दिए वहाँ से मार मार के और बोले कि अभी पुलिस पकड़ेगी तो छोड़ेगी भी नहीं, जेल में बंद कर देगी, पैसा नहीं भरेंगे तो।
He's saying to her that they'll clap him into prison next time. So it's better not to attempt to go back.
छोड़ा है सब काम, अब बैठे यहाँ पे, बैठे। उधर काम ही नहीं मिल रहा, नहीं देंगे।
Maybe I can work in the fields here, he says it. It's very sad. Well, we've decided to leave them and head back to Delhi. There's nothing more we can do here. The welfare officer has given me assurance that Amit's family will be visited regularly. I don't think there's anything else we can do here.
We need to go now. I need to get back to the city.
Right. I hope we've done the right thing.
You've got your story anyway. That's what you were here for.
Yeah.
It's not always easy to see the connections between people and events, but we are all connected as surely as the threads in a garment, regardless of space or time.
Ben, what are you doing in the office? Aren't you supposed to be at team practice?
Yes, sir. I was just on my way there. I just needed to look up a telephone number.
On the computer?
I would have asked, sir, but there was no one here and I was late for practice, so I thought...
What number? Let me see. What's this code?
Minneapolis. It's in America.
I know where Minneapolis is. Could you want to call there, Ben?
A college?
Why?
Because I'm thinking of going there, sir.
Aren't you a little young to be thinking of college, Ben?
Hi, Jim. I'm Chris Bannon.
Oh, yeah, I know. I watch your show all the time.
That's great. Nostrin, that's an interesting surname. Is it, what, Dutch?
Russian.
Yeah?
Yeah, way back was Nostrinovich. My great-grandfather was a Cossack, came over here with his family in the 1870s.
Yeah? Wow.
Yeah, then he shortened the name to Nostrin, to blend in. Yeah, I think the Cossacks were pretty unpopular here around that time.
This shouldn't take long.
Oh, no problem. It can take as long as you like. I just want to clear the air.
Okay, have a seat. I'll just ask a few fairly straightforward questions, and hopefully we can get this all cleared up. It's going out live, so we need to be
Live?
Yeah, don't worry about that. It'd be like a trip to the candy
Quiet down,
store.
please. Everybody quiet. Settle, please.
Here we go.
In 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Chris Bannon with News Time on Minneapolis 801. Now, clothing firm Cheap Threads is in the dock with allegations over the use of child labor in its third world factories. To answer these allegations, I have with me commercial director Jim Nostrand. Good afternoon, Mr. Nostrand.
Good afternoon.
Now, Cheap Threads is part of a network of companies owned and operated by the Mission of God Church. Why doesn't that ever appear on your promotional material?
No, that's not accurate, Chris.
It's not?
No, it's not owned by the church.
Excuse me, it's not owned by the church?
Well, no, we are a charity.
A charity owned and managed by the Mission of God Church?
Well, yes.
Okay, so it is owned by the Mission of God Church. Why do you try to disguise that fact?
No, we don't try to hide anything.
Come on, Mr. Nostrand. If I go to one of your stores with my family, is there anything that will tell me that the money I spend will go to support the Mission of God Church? What if I don't want my money to go to the church?
Well, see, no, it doesn't go to the church. It goes to the works of the church in poor countries. You see, there's a difference.
Yes,
there because...
Mr. Nostrand, there's a difference. You using children in the developing world to make cheap clothes, and then you using, so you claim, the profits of their labor to fund projects that are supposed to help children in developing countries?
No. We didn't know anything about the factory using kids. That I can confirm. No one here in Minneapolis knew about this. I can say that with 100%
All right,
certainty.
let's turn the page on.
Hey, Sharma?
Yeah?
Have you got my mobile phone?
No. Judy ears aren't allowed mobile phones.
I know that. I'm talking about my mobile phone. I had it with me in the changing room.
Changing room?
Yes, when I came to rescue you the other day. Are you sure you didn't see it?
I think
Yeah?
I saw Hayward with a mobile phone on the playing fields.
Right.
Kyle Rapkin's office.
Is that Cheap Threads?
I'm sorry?
Cheap Threads. You make clothes?
Yes, but we're not called that anymore. We're Prestige Clothes now.
Oh,
How may I help you?
I'm trying to find someone.
Someone who works here, honey?
Yes.
Okie dokie, let's see if I can help you. Is it your mom or dad that works here? We don't have that many people who work here, so I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble locating who you're looking for.
Jim Nostrand.
Oh. Is this a joke?
No?
He doesn't work here anymore.
I know, but
He's nothing to do with us.
I want to get a telephone
All
number.
that happened 5 years ago. What do you want?
I want to talk to him. Do you have a telephone number?
We don't do that.
Or an email address?
Do you know the family?
Yes, I do.
I think I better get my manager to come and talk to you. He'd know much more. Just one moment, please. Kyle, there's a boy on the phone. Can you talk to him?
What boy?
Well, he asked for Jim. He asked for Cheap Threads. I don't know who he is.
Jim Nostrand?
Yeah, he wanted a phone number.
you do. Great. Thanks, Sheila. Kyle Rapkin speaking. Who is this?
Who are you?
I'm Kyle Rapkin, CEO Prestige. Who are you?
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm coming to get him.
What? Who?
Jim Nostrand.
Jim Nostrand hasn't worked here for 5 years. Who is this?
Tell him it's just a matter of time. Vengeance is coming.
How's your turkey, Pastor?
Excellent, Ruth. Always is when you prepared it. You're a lucky man, Jim.
Sure am. So, like I was saying, Pastor, I don't think we need to worry about this. Yeah, I've taken care of it all. Spent the whole afternoon talking to journalists, putting them right on the situation. Hey, did you see my interview on News Time?
Did Faith help prepare this wonderful feast?
Oh, well...
I'm addressing Faith, my dear.
No, Pastor. I didn't have a hand in this.
So, Pastor, I think I've laid to rest this whole business. At least as far as the company or the church having anything to do with this. I mean, we can't be expected to know what's going on over there in India. Not everything.
May I be excused?
Oh, sure, honey.
Well, good night, Faith. I hope you're keeping all right.
Yes, Pastor.
Will you be coming to prayer group this Thursday? We missed you last week.
Of course she will. Won't you, honey?
Of course. Highlight of my week, Pastor.
She's really growing up. You've got a couple of lovely girls here, Jim. I hope you're looking after them.
Oh, he is, Pastor.
How's Faith doing at school? Studying hard?
Oh, yes, she is, Pastor. And she'll be going off to college soon. Truth is, she's going through a difficult age, Pastor, right now.
I heard she was at the Purple Turtle the other night. You know, I don't want to tell you how to bring up your child, but be careful for Faith. That place. I hear things about it. I don't like. That I don't think any decent Christian family would like. Children need guidance.
Would you like some more, Pastor?
Oh, no, I had my fill.
Are you sure? Here, let me take your plate.
Oh, thank you.
So, I think we're okay with regard to all that.
Good, I'm glad to hear that, Jim.
I mean, the factory even had a license from the government. We wouldn't have used them if they didn't have a license. If the government over there can't control what goes on, then how can they expect us to?
So, you think that's it?
Yeah. What more can anyone say? We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, see, that's the trouble.
But how could we know?
The church cannot be tainted with these kinds of accusations.
No, I didn't think anyone is tainted. That's what I'm saying. No one is at fault here, Pastor.
That's not the point, Jim. It's how it looks to the outside world. I and the Board of Governors. Well, Jim, we're very concerned about this. We need it settled. We need it settled quickly.
I think you will find it is, Pastor.
I hope so, Jim. I really do. Ah, Ruth. Your key lime pie. You're spoiling me.
Well, we can't let you go home hungry, Pastor. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul.
Excuse me.
Jim speaking.
Jim Nostrand?
Yeah, who is this?
Don't you recognize my voice?
Well, why?
Perhaps you don't remember me.
Well, sure I do.
I saw you on television.
Who is this?
Doesn't matter who I am. It's what I know. About what you did to Billy Perkins.
Who is it, honey?
Just another reporter. Listen, I don't know who you are or what you want, but please don't call here again.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Severed Threads on Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape.
Would you like to read this?
What is it?
It's Ben's notebook.
It's his diary. It's supposed to be private.
It's about a boy, Ben's age, who gets a gun and starts shooting his classmates and teachers.
Seems like everyone's hiding something, aren't they? What is young Ben's agenda with Jim Nostrand?
Is your father Mr. Jim Nostrand of the clothing company Cheap Threads?
What? Yes.
I want to speak to him.
He's not here.
Tell your father, wherever he is, vengeance is coming.
What terrible secret lurks in Jim's past?
What do you want, Billy?
You're a businessman, Jim. What do you think I want?
Look, you were a disturbed child. You know nothing happened.
You told your church about this, Jim?
Look, I'm not gonna give in to blackmail. You can go to hell.
And why is Prem so determined to get to the bottom of this story in Delhi? He has enough tape to file a piece. He could be on his way home to London tomorrow. What's keeping him in Delhi? Let us know your thoughts. We're at Secrets Crimes on Twitter. You can also follow us on Facebook or send an email to secrets@wondery.com. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you of our survey, which you can find at wondery.com/survey. Did you like this episode's format, or do you prefer shorter episodes? Let us know. We want to make the show the way you like it. And if you can, please rate and review Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape on iTunes. We're grateful for every review. And when we reach 500 5-star ratings, you will have unlocked some utterly dope SCA merch. Sweet details to come. Thank you for listening to Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape. The theme song for our series was composed by Mark Hadley. Our executive producers are Jeffrey Glazer and Hernan Lopez for Wondery. Until next time, I'm your host, David Reinstrom. What's your secret?